Welcome to my Sub-20 video. This video is aimed to beginners or people who are approaching Sub-20. Whether you are here for some tricks or are actually serious about it. This video is just a guide to the essentials of becoming Sub-20 and practice is still key. Enjoy.
12 seconds.
Number 1. Hardware. Now, there are a lot of Square-1s out there, but you should just get the MGC. It's the best option now as of now, also at a reasonable price. You can either set it up yourself, or if you're interested in setting up your cubes, like most people, just get a custom setup from Cube Store. And that's about it for hardware. Number 2. Cubeshape. By now, you should already know intermediate Cubeshape or scallop kite, which is reducing any cube shape into scallop kite or scallop. Scramble will be on screen. Okay, so looking at this scramble, it's a fist kite, and firstly I see these two L's with this L, so we can match this L with the pair while pushing this L out. And over here we realize that this L can be matched to the pawn, so another L will be created, and we match this L to this L into scallop kite. I wouldn't say you need to learn full Cubeshape at this stage, as scallop kite is already almost optimized. You should also keep your Cubeshape regardless by planning your starting grip. Try doing different CS solutions to find out which is most efficient and best for you to keep it as optimal as possible. For the harder cases, I recommend you just search out for the arc. Number 3. Corner and edge orientation. There isn't much to say about this step, as you should already know of the corner orientation, edge orientation arcs. You should also spam TPS and try to predict CP during EO using the corners. Number 4. Corner permutation. You should already know every CP arc. You should also learn how to preserve blocks during CP to make EP easier. During CP, we notice 2 blocks here for the T Perm and 2 blocks here for the S Perm. And so for the T Perm, it doesn't really matter where we put the blocks when we are doing NJ. But for the S Perm, block preservation is very important. So if you did not misalign blocks, you'll get UW. But if you did preserve the blocks, you'll get HU, which is a much better case. Number 5. Edge permutation. Edge permutation is by far the hardest step in 5-loop Vandenberg. It is complex in the way that there are so many cases for EP, and there are so many different ways to solve each case. So here we have edge. So it is, as you can see, these two swap pieces are adjacent on both layers like that. So solving from the back, you do slice 3 or U, M2, and back. It is also useful from the front like this. Next is op. Is basically opposite edges swap on both layers, and the out goes like this. Next is the Z Perm. The Z Perm can be solved in 3 M2s like this. M2 here, U prime, M2 here, and U back, M2 here. Next are H Perms, which are also quite easy and can be solved in two op-ops, like one op-op here, U, and one op-op here. Next are O Perms, which also can be solved in three M2s, like this, M2, U, M2, U, M2. Now we have W Perms. So there's this H Perm looking thing here, and Z Perm looking thing here, and the edge here. So you put the H Perm like bar at the back, and you do this. It's basically a cancellation to Z Perms. And lastly, we have the good U Perms. There are two arcs. So for this case, for good U Perms, you can see that the opposite edge to the corner is here, and the other opposite edge to the corner is at the back here. So the first one is the front, and the next one is at the back, and you do it like this. The one on top has the opposite edge at the back, while the one on the bottom has the opposite edge in front. So top at the back and bottom at the front. And so you do a U2, so these two face each other, and you do this. Also, you should learn the optimal finger trick for parity. So for this first EP case, we have edge U. So we can first do an edge to bring this edge here and solve this layer, so we are left with parity. Edge parity. Okay, so for this EP case, we can reduce the bottom to edge parity by doing an op-op on top. And now we are left with edge U, and now we can edge this to go to here to force edge parity on the bottom and solve this layer. But alternatively, we can treat this like a good U and treat this as the back bottom opposite edge, and do a good U at this angle with the H Perm looking bar here. Good U, and you're left with edge parity on bottom. I encourage you to experiment with EP solutions and find which one is most optimal for you, just like Cubeshape. Example solves. So, for my first example solve, Scramble will be on screen. So here, this case is barrel shield. So you can see there are 4 pairs. So over here, we can see that we can match this pair to this pair to make a scallop plus another pair, which can be matched to this pair to make another scallop, like this. So you get scallop. And now for CO, we can connect this white corner to this white corner and bring it up. For EO, it's the 3-3 out, and over here we got none J, which can be solved like this. for this EO, we can just do an op to force an edge and edge. Okay, so for this we got pawn fist. So first we can match this pair to the pawn by hiding the pawn here, moving the pawn here so it matches up with the pawn. So we get this two L's here and here that can be matched up using a slice. So Square-1, and now CP, just put this corner up, D, put this corner down, D, slice. And for this it's L line, which can be done like this. Should be straightforward. And for this, we can preserve the blocks of the top layer by doing this, so the blocks are not separated. And now we can do an edge to force edge parity on the bottom. Conclusion. In conclusion, Sub-20 isn't really that hard other than Cubeshape and EP. Try to keep a regardless solve, and SPS isn't necessary at this stage, and you should keep your turning as smooth and consistent as possible. These tips can even be applied until Sub-15. That's it, bye.